But let me allow you to talk about the Barcelona angle to it. Iniesta said, look, we have important matches coming up, and that's the reason why we didn't show up. But a lot of people are making a lot out of the fact that the three Barcelona guys, Gerrard, Piqué, Andres, Iniesta, and Lionel Messi, didn't show up for this award.
I mean, decent excuse. I mean, it's going to be difficult to leave an important game to show up in this award. Yes, this is the biggest award on the planet, and then you really want to expect everyone that will pick anything in this award to show up. Even if you're not going to win, you have to be part of it to add glamour to it. But I mean, you can also take it away. But for Barcelona, having a game ahead of them, they need to prepare. They need to blend together. So I mean, it's going to be hours away from Spain to Zurich. So it is a bit long distance, and then you need to respect the opinion of the Barcelona players. It would have been nice to have them here to also be part of the FIFA 11 to make it a very big event. But I mean, we don't have them. They have to prepare for games, and it doesn't take anything away from the award for the fact that they also recognize what they deserved to get in this year.
We must also say that we had our own representation at the awards. NFF President Amaju Pinnick and NFF Vice President, Vice President Shehu Diko were at the awards. That's a Nigerian angle too. Let me allow you to a word or two about the absence of.
There's a lot of pressure on Barcelona. They played the game yesterday.
We're in Luis Enrique the near end of the
a lot of pressure on the team. They needed a Messi last-minute goal.
Still didn't save them
to get a point off Villarreal yesterday, and they are, about 5 or 6 points off the mark, Real Madrid. So there's bound to be pressure, and then they have a game coming up, and then you expect a lot of their players to be out again. It's always going to be difficult. I don't like reading too much into things if you give a good excuse. So maybe we allow it to pass, but we know in the tradition of the FIFA awards, everybody turns up, but maybe congestion of fixtures this time makes it a little difficult. And then, of course, as you said, NFF President Amaju Pinnick and Shehu Diko were at the awards, but what they're going to be doing is a lot more than the awards. Tomorrow, there's the FIFA General Assembly.
A vote?
All federation presidents are going to be there, and that's why it's important for Amaju Pinnick to be at the awards, to be there at this point, because tomorrow the decision on whether we are going to be playing 48-team World Cup will be made. And essentially, FIFA have done a lot of lobbying to tell people, look, all the confederations are going to have extra slots. And that's what they've been waiting to hear. And that's why everybody is not descending.
We'll talk about that a lot. We also hear that a lot of the top stars support the idea. But we'll talk about that. It's for much later on the show. Last words, Toby, the FIFA 11. Anybody you think should be in that 11 that was not? I don't think anybody can argue against Manuel Neuer.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
That's the only spot on the FIFA 11 that I think you're not going to have any options.
No options.
But for the others?
Yeah, I mean for the others.
Dani Alves, Gerrard, Piqué, the Real Madrid captain,
Sergio Ramos,
Marcelo. I mean, a
lot of Madrid, essentially Real Madrid,
Spain
and
dominated.
Barcelona players.
It's always been like this for a while. I mean, other leagues need to really step up with these guys. It's looking boring in terms of a competition with the FIFA Free Pro, because it's always been dominated by Spain players. Either you play for Real Madrid or Barcelona.
Apart from Manuel Neuer. From Germany. And even if you're going to talk about Dani Alves, spent a good part of this year in Spain.
So, I mean, like I said, other players in other leagues need to do a lot of catch-up, and hopefully we'll see that this season. But, I mean, you can't really argue much about these players here. I mean, they deserve to be there. They work out so in 2016, and, this is what they deserve to be.
Well, we hope one day, I mean, from the African perspective, we get an African player, maybe an Aubameyang,
Alex
Iwobi, and Iheanacho, Victor Moses, into
the FIFA,
the top 11. Yeah, it's
prestigious.
You want to look at that squad and you want to ask yourself, who is supposed to be there and isn't there? It's hard. It's difficult.
It's hard.
And when a name like Antoine Griezmann jumps at you, then you realize that it's been knocked out of that list by Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. So that's
difficult.
It's difficult, really difficult. The best of the best.
All right.
But can this team ever play together?
That's the $1 million question. It's not going to happen.
Maybe an exhibition match.
Just one season. Let them play together one season.
Maybe fantasy football, but in real life, no. All right, let's bring it home and come to Nigeria. 2016 wasn't particularly good for Nigeria in sports. Our sports correspondent, Austin Konakwan, put together. Okay, let's quickly talk about this. Still talking about the awards, the
Nigerian presence.
The Nigerian presence, which is very key in all that we have discussed, especially looking at the things that would happen later on. We talked about the votes, we talked about the general meeting, and all the other issues, General Assembly, all the other issues involved. But the voting, we'll talk about that later. We'll see what will happen in that one. But surely a decision will be taken tomorrow. Whether it's going to be in the interest of football or for the lesser countries, we'll wait to see. Because that's the question, really. A lot of people feel that a 48 team, maybe we should just talk about it then, that a 48 team World Cup will really water down the quality of the World Cup. All right, so maybe we'll just go on a break, and when we return, we'll still be on this issue, and we'll also talk about Nigeria, all for you on Sports Tonight.